Good morning, everybody. So let us start our class today. So according to our schedule, we will discuss today more about data type and expression. So we already discussed something about data types and expressions. Today we will discuss more in depth, but before I go with the official slides, I want to review something more with my personal slides for more information about data types. So these are the type systems. So according to, in most of the programming languages, follow this convention. There are two data types. One are primitive data types, and another is reference or built types, or we say object. We will discuss about object later. Okay, the primitive data types are mainly 2 or 3 types: numeric data type, Boolean type, and return address, that is called, another is pointer, that is discussed in C and C++, but Java does not have pointer, so we will avoid this. Okay, so Boolean data type is used to hold only true or false value, and then other type is numeric data type. Numeric data type is again 2 types. One are the integral type, the whole numbers that works with whole number, byte, short, int, long, and character. And another is floating point data type that holds decimal point, float and double. Okay, so we discussed this, but today I want to review that. If we say byte, one memory byte memory space. If I say short, it takes 2 bytes, and int 4 bytes, and then long 8 bytes. So if you have a long data type, then you can hold very, very large, very small number. So you don't need to memorize this range, but for instance, if I say, if I declare a variable as long variable, you see that, then it takes 64 bytes memory space, that means 8 byte, 64 bit, that means 8 byte, and this is the lowest number I can hold here. Is maybe trillion something, right? And this is the range, this is the mean value, and this is the max value. Okay. And for integer, it takes 4 byte, and this is the lowest number and lowest range, and this is the highest range, and 0 is in between. And for the float number, this is the range, is a plus minus, that it can go from negative to positive. Okay, and for double, you see that very large number, e to the power negative 2, 3 to 4, very large number. Okay, so we do not need to memorize this, but just be aware of that. At any point, if your program in any variable and in your program exceeds this range, then there will be a problem. A few years ago, NASA, they lost billions of dollars. There is a video on YouTube. Maybe I can share sometime. that in one of their program, that program was maybe written in C or C++ few years ago. And then at some point, one of their variables exceeded data type, and then their or the satellite or something, or they're following satellite, sending satellite that crashed. I will get that variable. If you can do a Google search and give me that one, then I can share, or I will get that later. But if you are interested in to know what happens when we declare a variable. For instance, we say when we declare a variable character type, it takes 8 memory, it takes 2 bytes in Java, okay, and in C and C++ it takes 1 byte. Okay, so that this happens that it works this way. So let me, and for integer type, for short type, it takes 2 bytes, and then integer type, it takes 4 bytes, and for this is for what, float types, it takes 4 bytes, and for double type, okay, it takes 8 bytes. So these are the actual internal explanation how these data type range work. Okay, but I'm not going to discuss in detail about this. If you are interested in to learn about this, do Google search or something. Okay. Go to our slide. Anyone has any question about data type? Okay. Now we want to discuss about expressions, operators, precedence, shorthand operators, and data type conversion. These 4 items. The last one is more important that we need to focus on. Okay, hope I will get enough time to discuss this. Okay. Before I go to this official slide, I want to go with some simple, very simple slide. Sometimes I use these slides to teach this to my young boys. One of them is my middle school, and another is high school. I believe they understood. Let us try with you for a few minutes. An expression is a combination of one or more operators and operand. Okay. For instance, we are familiar with operators, operand and expression from very early. Let's see, what is my slide? Okay, so if I say g equal to x plus y, if I say g equal to x plus y, here x and g are called operands. Actually, x and y we can say operands, and g is result. Okay, x and y and g are variables as well as, and here plus sign and equal sign called operators. And operators does some operation on some data. So we know that plus sign is an operator that adds to numeric numbers, right? So we also showed that the plus operator is also used to string as well as, okay, that is bound of this discussion for today. We will discuss that more. Okay, so here this equal sign is called assignment operator. It assigns the value of this resultant value x plus y, whatever I have x plus y, into z. Okay, so we are very simple, right? We are familiar with this. This is another example, okay, some another expression. So we know that, for instance, let us see about that. Operators are actually divided into two main categories. Three categories, two main categories. There are three categories based on the number of operands associated with an operator. Operators are classified into three categories. It's called unary operator. So unary operators have only one operand associated with it. This negative sign over here, this minus sign or negative sign over here, right? We say, if we say 5 plus minus 2, this negative sign here is a unary operator. Okay, we are familiar with this, right? So actually this will be, result will be 5 plus minus 2 equal to 3, right? We know that, because actually this in computer program you write this way: 5 plus another parenthesis you should write this way, in the middle way, or at least this way. Then you will get exact result. In computer program you cannot write this way. Two operators cannot stay together most of the time. Sometimes we need to use extra parenthesis. Okay, so here this plus sign is called a binary operator. This plus sign needs two operands on two sides, something left side and something right side. Okay, this is why it is called operators. All binary operators need two operands. There is another special operator that is called ternary operator that needs three operands. We will discuss that when we get this. Okay, for now let us work with unary operators and binary operators. Okay, for here, this is another operator, the plus plus. Okay, it is called incremental operator and minus minus, two pluses and two minuses without any gap in between. Okay, this is another kind of unary operator. It is used a lot in programming. Okay, I will show you it in a live program to understand this. Actually, this plus sign, plus sign, it means something. X, for instance, if I say, okay, I equal to I plus 1. Actually, if my operand is I, then I plus plus means to I plus plus. I plus 1. It increments its value by 1. Okay. Similarly, the minus minus operator, it is called unary decrement operator. It decrements its operand by 1. So if say I minus minus, that means I equal to I minus 1. Similarly, we can say, if you say minus minus I, that means I equal to I minus 1 too. You see, there are two different notations of these incremental and decremental operators. You see that I wrote I plus plus or plus plus I, or I minus minus or minus minus I. So this first one is called postfix operator, postfix notation, and this one is called prefix notation. Okay, so maybe I will discuss prefix and postfix notation in detail soon. Let us finish this. Okay, finish this with a live program. I hope I will discuss this. There are a little bit different between I plus plus and plus plus I. You may get a question like this in your test. So you need to understand this, okay? So whatever we have learned so far, so I plus plus, for instance, this one plus plus operator or minus minus operator, these two operators have two notations. One is called prefix notation, another is called postfix notation. For prefix notations, these operators belong, this is a single operator. Okay, this belongs to before the operand. Okay, and for this is for so this is decremental postfix notation. This is also postfix notation, and this is prefix notation. I said there is a very tiny difference, but important, between these notations. We will discuss this soon. I'm coming to this program when we discuss. Okay, I will come to this live program with this in the live program later. Now let us go back to our original slide. Okay. So what is an expression? We know that an expression is a combination of some operators and some operands. So for instance, if I say G equal to X plus Y, right? For instance, minus 2. I can do something. This is a valid expression. Okay, so here G, X, Y, and number 2, these are operand, and equal sign, plus sign, and minus sign, these are operators. Okay, this is a valid operator. Okay, so but if I say this thing, G equal to X plus Y minus, this is not a valid expression, right? Here we know that this minus sign, it needs another operand on its right hand. So we must have something here. So this is not valid, right? So so whatever we will be discussing, these are very simple and common and more familiar to you from your early childhood. We will follow this, but maybe we will use something different and a few more. I'm coming this some. Okay. So arithmetic operators are the operators that are used for arithmetic operations or numeric data. For instance, plus, minus, multiplication, division, this. And all of these are known to you except maybe this one, the percentage sign. It's called a modulus operator, and it is used to find the remainder when we divide one number by another number. Okay, for instance, if I say 25 divided by 3, we know 8. Okay, but if we say 25 modulus 3, because if we divide 25 by 3, then we get remainder 1, right? This, it is not percentage sign, okay? This sign is used to find remainder for integer division. Okay. So similarly, if I say 5 or 15 modulus, what I can say 4, then I will get what? Yes. Okay. This is the dividend, right? This is the dependence of your quotient or your modulo operator always give the result less than this. Okay, but whatever I say, if I say 4 modulo 15, can anyone tell me what will be my result? Yes, you will give me 4. Okay, but if I would say 15 plus 4, what is that? 19. If I say 19 modulus 15, what is my result? Still it is 4, right? Okay. Anybody has any question about this modulus operator? Okay, thank you. Operators maintain their precedence. Precedence, that means called which one will be executed first and which one will be executed next. For instance, these precedents are actually familiar with us from our early childhood. So for instance, if we say if this one plus sign has same precedence, but the multiplication sign has higher precedence. So this is why if in this expression on the right side, we got a plus b times c minus d divided by e. Which one will be executed first? This operation b. Okay, then it will be executed division sign, then addition sign, then subtraction sign. Okay. But similarly here, again on the contrary here, we have all plus sign over here. The plus operators have same precedence, but it will be executed from left to right. So whatever comes first, this will be executed. So this plus operator will be executed first, then this plus operator, then this one, then this one. Okay, but we also know that if there is a parenthesis, then that has higher or highest precedence, right? So in this expression, we will do d minus e first, because d minus e is closed with a parenthesis. The inner parenthesis has the highest precedence. So here we will do, although we have division sign and multiplication sign, okay, but we will do this one first. So in your test, you may be given an expression and you will be asked to either explain the precedence or write down the precedence like this. Okay, anyone has any question about this? Very simple. Yes. Okay, so in our program, when we type in program, space is optional but is unexpected. When you write something, right, in our on paper, we use space in between two words or two sentences, right? Similarly, when you type in program, you should keep space so that it looks good. But for some operators, it is required to give space. For some operators, it is not required to give space. That is a good question. I will discuss that in my live program. By the way, your test will be, your face-to-face test will be written test, and most of them will be open-ended. There will be maybe a few true, false, or MCQ type. The quiz, not your test will not be similar to quizzes. Okay, quizzes are almost MCQ type, right? Multiple choice, like in something, not or true, false, not this. Okay, so if you are familiar with this equal sign, this is called not, we will not call this equal sign. This is actually called assignment operator. Assigns the value of the right side to the variable on left side. For instance, if we consider this expression, okay, so the result from this part, right side of this assignment operator, will be executed first. Then the total result will be assigned to the left-hand variable answer. Okay, so this is plus plus operator and minus minus operator. These are the shorthand. It's called shortcut operators. I'm coming shortly to discuss this. There are some other shortcut way. For instance, plus and equal. Okay, so in this case, you cannot use a space in between. Okay, you cannot use plus in between. This should be together. Okay, so for instance, a plus equal 3. It is similar to it is equivalent to a equal to a plus 3. Similarly, a minus equal 10. It is equal to or equivalent to a minus 10. Similarly, percentage equal, this is for instance a percentage equal 10. It means a equal to a percentage 10. So in this you will see in your program there will be using this kind of expression, shorthand expression, in order to update a variable's value. These are used to update its own value. If we say a equal to a plus 3, that means whatever my previous a value was, that will be increased by 10 by 3. For instance, in this expression, if we say result equal to, for instance, total minus mean num. Okay, it's little bit complicated expression. To result equal to result, so this thing total. Then you may have a question that why we are going to use this notation where we can write in this way. This is the shorthand notation. Actually, programmers and skilled programmers like to use that. We will use this notation when you understand, in order to make our program codes look better. Okay. Let us see. Okay. This one, is this a correct or an incorrect? Okay, it seems correct or incorrect. So in mathematically, in a term, we if the number is positive, then we avoid positive sign, right? Positive signs. Okay, if a number is negative, then you must write the negative sign. But for instance, in programming, you should not use this way. You should use like this way. If there are two operators, use parentheses to separate them. Okay, but actually maybe for this one, okay, how about this one? How about this one? Is correct or incorrect? Yes, it is definitely incorrect. Actually, I wanted to mean like this. How about this one? Say correct. Okay, only me. Okay, if you, is incorrect. The reason is that you cannot give space here between plus sign and equal sign. Okay, if you do your handwriting code, be careful while writing this. Sometimes while writing, typing in something using pen and pencil, we are used to give space, right? But when you write your code on a piece of paper using pen or pencil, be careful to write the notations and operators. Something may be misleading. Okay. So this one, a equal to a plus 2 is same as a. We can write a plus equal to 2. You see that there is no space in between this, but we prefer that you would write like this way. Then your code looks good. Okay, sometimes we sometimes we may need to assign a value of one variable by another variable, by the value of another variable. For instance, we say integer x equal to y. Then for instance here data type variable 2 equal to variable 1. Variable 1 will be assigned to variable 2. In that case, the variable 2 may be changed, but the variable 1's value will be unchanged. Sorry. Okay, another important topic, last topic today is data conversion, data type conversion. There are two types of conversion. One is temporary conversion and this permanent conversion. For permanent conversion, we use class, object-oriented programming. We declare a class. For temporary conversion, one kind of data to another kind of data, we do typecasting. It's called typecasting. We will discuss this soon. Sorry. 10 minutes? That's good. Let me go to a live program that where we left in our okay. Let us do a very simple program. Would you see this? Okay, so I and int x equal to 1. Say 0, it's okay. Okay, so if I want to print x, so what will print? What will be printed? Everybody knows is 0, right? There is no doubt. It will be printing the value of x as 0, right? 0. Okay, so if I print plus x, what will be printed here? Anyone has any different idea? Okay. Let me change this value because 1, 0, 1 over here. Let me run it. We're still printing 1. Let me give a space in between so that you can see. Okay. Then if I want to print negative x, okay, what it will print? Negative 1, right? So everybody is clear? I'm going in depth step by step. Okay, so if I print, okay, like this, let me see if I can do this. Negative x with some space. It should work. Okay, it is working. So the negative operator, it works with space. But if I want to print like this, anybody has an idea what will be printed here? Anyone else? Who told me 0? What is your name, please? Huh? Who told 0? Raise your hand, please. What is your name? Okay, Shailas, he is correct. Again, it's here. Okay. Plus. Okay, so when you say minus minus x, actually what it will do, it will first decreases x by 1. So x equal to 1, so then it minus 1 equal to 0. So in this line, it will print 0. Then, so do you know what will be printed here? After again. No, not correct. Still, it will show the value is x equal to 0. It will show 0. Okay, so I'm explaining. So x equal to 1 over here. Okay, so there is no doubt. Okay, please give me attention for the next 5 minutes, please. We are going to something that may help you learning something for lifelong. Okay, first of all, so let us use 3 different print statements. Okay. For the first one, there is no doubt that x will be printed as 1, right? Okay. There is no doubt that x will be printed as 1. And the second here, x will be decremented. Okay, then it will print x equal to 0. This will print 0. And again, in this third line, later, it will print we told that a variable contains only one value. Contains is updated value, latest value. So what will be the latest value over here? 0, right? So here it will be printing 0. It is clear? Okay, now let us see. Okay. Very simple changes, minor change. Did you see that? I am going to use postfix notation of this is called decremental operator. Okay, previously I used like this, minus minus, and is this time I'm going to use x. Previously I used this. Okay, now I'm going to use x minus minus. Okay, so now can you tell me what will be my output over here? This line number 7 and 9. Okay, let us try to understand before I write my execute my code. So there is no doubt that on this line it will print first 1, right? So here on this line, what will be printed? This is a question. $1, not $1 million. Okay. This is a $1 question that it will be printing. Okay, this is the postfix notation. The postfix notation works in a way that it uses its old value. At this moment, it will be printing its old value. What is my x old value? 1. So it will be printing 1. And after 1, it will decrease 1 by number 1. So then here x will be 0. So again here it will print 0. By the way, this plus sign is not the plus operator over here. Okay, this plus sign we are using to concatenate a string with a number. Okay, so just in order to show you the difference between these output, these output, these output. Okay, I'm writing this. Okay, let us run this. Okay, if you understand this, but mine, how many minutes I have to have? If I get 3 more minutes, please. You see that the decremental operator works in a way. Okay, so it has 2 notations. Okay, so that this is called postfix notation. Postfix notation works in a way that it uses its old value. Okay, after it uses its old value, right after it uses its old value, it does the increment or decrement operation. Here it at this moment it uses its old value x equal to 1, but after printing 1, it decreases its value so that in decrement or that will be affected from the next line. Right after this next line, x become 0, right? So this is why it is printing 0. It is clear? If you are clear, then tell me what will be printed in this line. So in this line, it will be printing 1. There is no doubt, right? So this line, it will be printing 1. And this line, it will be printing. Okay, thank you, everybody. Anybody, if you have any confusion, give me 1 more minute, please. And give attention to this. Okay, so now, okay, one more thing. If I say plus plus x, it will be printed here. Okay, so here this line it will be printing 1, there is no doubt, and this line what will be printed, and this line. Okay, everybody understand this. Okay, so these plus plus operators and minus minus, these are used in for loop or while loop, but while using for loop or while loop, there is no difference between plus plus x or x plus plus. Okay, but the difference comes here. If you understand this, then you will understand the difference. Okay, thank you so much. Again, there is no class on Monday. You have a good day.